We'll go from there. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, so we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, getting everybody uh, on the pod. It's Magic Secrets. Going to be another great event today. I'm not sure if we're going to have Smitty, so you'll see it's not the same without Smitty. Already missing him, and for me psychologically, one of the things I'm able to do is really lean on Smitty's preparation to kind of lean into the episodes. Now he's been filling us up so much, and he also provided a bunch more last night. So that, of course, takes a lot of the burden off, but I'm really a big believer in really understanding the power of accurate recognition and how important it is. All right, guys, a great event. Great to have you guys all on here, and let's get right into it. So let me open up, and obviously I'll have to lean into the three of you guys, which won't be a problem. You guys are all pros. But anyways, this is the deck all right, so a bunch of different stuff. I was thinking about the importance of kind of foundational thinking, and kind of sticking to your known models. Again, I brought up that clip from the coach of the legendary Dota 2 team Falcons. And he was saying, hey, one of the things that we do is, of course, there's changes in Dota 2 as well. It's this giant, successful game that's out there, and they have, new characters that come out and changes that come all the time. In the last year or so, they added facets, so all the, every single character in the game then became, two slightly different characters in a way. There weren't massively different facets, but they're still kind of important enough that you had to learn them and had to learn what the different interplay would be in them and so forth. So anyways, the point is that when a new set comes out, they're not looking to reinvent the wheel in the way, like they're not looking to make choose all new characters and say, okay guys, wow, this guy over here looks cool, he's got a new update, he gained more, other guys maybe that we play lost kind of ground. They're mainly looking to play the same characters, mostly the same way. And then, of course, they're looking to adapt to new things, but they're not looking to get necessarily a massive advantage. Like pouncing on a new card is not like a thing necessarily, or a new thing that comes out. So, a new mechanic or a new way of doing things. And, you want to be adaptive. You can miss out by doing that. I'm not saying you're not missing out, but it is an approach. And it's very similar to David's approach of the ultimate deck concept that we talk about in Magic Secrets, where we very much stick to it in draft, but also in constructed. It's really great to have one or a few, like constructed and standard is so diverse right now compared to the way that it used to be, that it's expedient, and we would always very typically have at least two decks that we'd be running, and then if we'd be running a given deck, we want to get all out of it, and run it every different way that we could. At Pro Tour Chicago, we took four out of the top 9 slots. I took 9th, with 2 different decks. Actually, we may have had 2 guys. I feel like somehow we might have had 2 versions of Kyle's deck in the top 8, but maybe that's wrong. So I don't know. It was 4, maybe somehow it was 5. I don't really remember, but it was definitely 4. I know Kyle Rose is in, David Mills was in, Justin Schneider was playing, and so David, Justin, and I were playing this kind of frenetic and free counterpost, more of a control-ish deck, but still, with a lot of aggression. And then Kyle didn't have any counters at all, but he was playing a lot of the cards were the same in our decks. They had a lot of overlap. I mean, we both had Tides, we both had frenetic Efreets, we both had, I think, Wildfire Emissaries. I'm pretty sure Kyle had Wildfires, not 100% sure, but I kind of think he did had 2 Wildfires. So a lot of some lightning bolts. We all had lightning bolts. So a lot of similar cards. We all had dude ranches. We had all had Tail Jordan outposts. So huge similarity. But then there was a divergence where we would have where me, David, and Justin played impulses, which you guys know from standard now, and we played counterspell, which are spell counters, force of will, which are more spell counters. David played a really cool one called disrupt, which was 1 blue and countered an instant or sorcery unless your opponent paid 1 colorless mana, and then you drew a card, and he would just crush people with that card. Anyways, we had counter magic basically, and Kyle just had more. He had some pump knights in there. He wanted to kind of go faster. He had white like knights that would just come into play and attack. We were the same colors. We were red, white, blue, very similar, but two different approaches for going at it. Kyle's might have been better against Necro, by the way. I'm not sure. I bet Randy didn't want to see him. Who knows? So there's different takes on things. Of course, you can bolt out knights, but who knows? So you want to kind of more when a new set comes out. Lorwyn just dropped, over the weekend. I'll be getting into it. There'll be a few deck archetypes I'll point out, but mainly we stick to what like basically our Isengard shuffle slash bazooka mode. That's the same one that Theory has been so successful with. Of course, almost everyone on our team has done really, really well with it. We've played it different ways. There's different ways of doing it, but there's a certain wireframe to it that we're pretty much looking to play with, and then that's very fruitful. I really find that type of testing is really fruitful. I do like it when new decks emerge. I'm a fan of it. I try to make it even happen myself, but still love coming back to these kind of tried and true decks, seeing what we can get out of them. So once again, and such a wide open framework that we have, it's kind of perfect for our Magic Secrets show to have. It's very similar to what David and I have with Zuzu the Great back in the days, which was kind of a base green 5-color aggressive style deck that may have some counters or disruption or some kind of disruption, some kind of something. With this deck, I pointed out the basic idea of angels and how angels could kind of vibe with what we're doing. To Bryn, actually, particularly over the summer, he was doing a lot of thinking about things. I thought that'd be fun for him to just like kind of look at it, different kind of change of pace. And so it's one of the different kind of change outs or different viewpoints that I try to look over whenever new cards come out. Now, Dan brought up, and by the way, Dan was the designer of this card, Lightsaw Inquisitor, so I'm always very curious to see what it can do. So Temple Garden came out. This is a new card. It's a new old card, but anyways, it's in standard now, and that opens up a lot of things for us. We play a lot of we try to play a lot of green white because we wind up playing tons of blue green based on how we're doing things. Sometimes we play blue green black. I may show a bit the bitter whatever version of this deck. I don't know if I'll get to it on this episode or not, but there's a new Bitter Blossom guy or whatever he's called. But anyways, with Temple Garden coming out, we get to what we want to do is go back and look back over our previous assumptions and our previous, like especially where premises have changed. If we said, well, we were running green white before, what does that look like with Temple Garden? It's going to be very different, right? If we were trying to make the green white verge work, for example, we're just going to wind up in too many frustrating situations where our mana just doesn't work and we're dropping games because of it, and you're not really going to get to 65, 70% game wins that you'd ideally like to get when you're dropping games to mana too much, overly much. So I put this deck together. I'm actually going to lean on a few screen captures that I pulled up, and I put these in the group. And so I just want to search my desktop here and go to downloads. I'll pull up these 4 screen caps that I dropped into the group, along with obviously let's see, that one, and then get that one. All right, great. All right, and now I can go back to screen sharing. Let me make sure this is the right thing that I want to have pulled up. Okay, great. We're gonna go to webinar go. Here we go. All right. So this is one of the fun screen captures that I popped up, and I have a few different ones that I can cycle between. There was a particular fun one right here that I can go over. Yeah, so we'll go over this. So that's kind of the beginning of stuff. And again, this is going to be, when I compare it to, David talks about in the beginning, Magic Secrets. With Magic, it's a hobby or if it's a pro sport or whatever it is that you're doing with it, you're probably going to, oh, that's nice that I can zoom in. That's actually really great. We want to make really good use of our time. We want that time to be valuable. We want it to be enjoyable, right? We want to harness it. We want to take advantage of the playtesting that we did. I haven't done as much showing of screen captures on the show because in the most cases, we were kind of had a shared remembrance of things. We were posting a lot of stuff in the group. And so we're kind of leaning on that, but now I'll try to be using that more on the show, being a little bit prepared. So here, one of the things about this new version of the deck, the sort of angel version of the shuffle. So you're always going to be picking up stuff, dropping stuff, right? To get something new, you're going to be dropping something. I really liked, as you guys know, Atlanta Shuffle during the last go round. My guess is it's still really good. It's just not very. It's so low value right now to test whether it's good because it's only a question of whether it's good in the meta. There's nothing. No cards probably change for it main deck. Probably maybe the Explorer. I don't know. Might tune a couple different cards and that's great. But not a lot of new information. And especially with us having the podcast, we have some sort of a following. We get dozens of views on the replay and so forth. And at some point, a lot of people could be watching these in the rearview mirror. So I do want them to be entertaining. I try to have that be a reasonable boundary as much as I can, while not, having to overly obsess about the show. Having it be kind of a nice mix of things. And so yeah, so we have. This version now where we're losing things, right? With Atlanta Shuffle, which I've shown you guys before, there's lots of counters in it, right? We have the Merfolk, the Tidebinder that can counter stuff. We have the 3 steps ahead that can counter stuff. Adaptive mutation that we learned from theory that you can counter stuff with. So that's great. This version really a lot like the Vivi deck that we saw recently, where they have big creatures that often fly, right? The Vivi deck. I feel like there was a lot of flyers. Maybe was it just the Steam Core flyer, but maybe there was other flyers sometimes in there. Maybe the Quantum Riddler or something like that. I feel like they'd have something in there. What's that?
I said they got big with the prof, right? So there weren't a few. There was just a few, but they became very big, right? They got
they make them giant, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so a little bit of the same idea here, right? So what are we dropping? We're dropping at this time, dropping counters at least back to the sideboard, like as we look at this deck, and I'll pull the deck itself up. Dropping the counters that we would have had. That's what we get out of the Merfolk version. And you might say, Mike, what about Merfolk? They have a new Merfolk coming in. The mana, I try to make it work. Not sure yet. Don't know what to do about that at this time. So we could talk about that, but for now, I would keep Atlanta Shuffle pretty similar to what I was posting before, what I had in previous podcasts. Irregardless, this deck doesn't have counters main deck. It doesn't have, like Theory talked about it when he played Batman Bazooka, like the Batman Shuffle version of the deck, where you play with the black and the colorless bat that has lifelink and gets a card out of your opponent's hand. I played some of it last night. Explosive card in the deck. And you might play some removal in that deck as well. Might play some Shot the Sheriff or whatever. Yeah. So that's something you get with that. Maybe some duress in the sideboard in the main deck, whatever. So that's some different stuff. Now we're all still in the same framework. We're going to count on a lot of the same stuff. We know we're going to come fast out of the gate. We have the elves and our pollinators to go fast, and we can go wide with Drunith, and we have our Cubs, Mr. Green Jr. To make us fly, and then of course Mr. Green to make sure the games don't last too long. Um, so what's this? What did we get out of this? I didn't know if this was going to go well. I had this on my slate of things to test. Just so you know, like at the time when I went to test, it wasn't the first deck I tested, which maybe it should have been. I don't know. But it was like the fifth or sixth test. I really only got to this when I started posting about it in the group, which I think was only maybe 2 hours before showtime, maybe 3 hours. So not long. But there was a little bit of a line at Jersey Mike's. I won 2 games at Jersey Mike's while I was waiting in line. I was like, oh, this is kind of good. Kind of go big, pretty fast. And I kind of kept winning games. And I was like, okay. So I started analyzing it a little bit more, and that's when I started thinking about how it is a little bit like that version of Vivi. It does tend to get big and wide and vicious pretty fast. I do have these chopping changelings, which I can use to take out artifacts or enchantments. I have 3. I feel like it's a little bit. I think it's silly to leave out 1 Lyra. She's really, really nasty. What she does, all of your other angels have lifelink. That's so game changing, and she's a 5/5. So but it could be that you're better off with 4 chopping changelings. But anyways, so the weird thing is you only have 12 actual angels where it says angel on the card, but you have 8, 7 more. Well, you have 13, of course, with 1 Lyra over here. Remember this Giada, she taps for white men to spend on angels and also on changelings, which are angels as well. So keep that in mind. Usually attack first, then cast the angel. But anyways, so you have Lyra, so you have 13 in that way. Then you have 7 more with your changelings, right? So now we're up to 20. And then we have 4 mockingbirds, which often can copy as long as you have an angel in play, can copy one. So that's 20. Now we're up to 28. 28, 12, 14, wait, 12, 16, 20, 24 with the mockingbirds. Yeah, 28 with 24 with mockingbird, and then kind of 28 with Druid. Druid is not exactly an extra angel, but can actually be like more than 1 angel, right? Druids could be 3 angels, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 angels. Could be 3 angels. I've had it be 3 angels. I get a lot more. One of the things I've been looking for. I know that theory that you got this out of your decks. You would get very even pulls with your Druids. Your Druids would be very smooth, whereas some of my builds, they can be clunky.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Where with the Atlantis shuffle, sometimes it's like not always.
Right.
You don't have as many creatures in Atlantis shuffle because you have the 3 steps ahead and you have the adaptive mutations. Right. Now I could trim down, right? But still, I don't know if you get the smoothness. With this, you get a real smoothness. You got 16 1-drops. Of course, your mockingbirds could be 2 3s or 4s as well. You got 16 2-drops, and all of them really juicy. I mean, they can really go. All of them get really out of control. The Youthful Valkyries really, I bet you're going to win a lot of games with Youthful Valkyrie. I'm imagining somehow it just popped into my mind when Bryn wins, he's bam, the fist goes into the air. I was just imagining the Youthful Valkyrie flying in for the win, getting really big. And then of course your Mutable Explorers. Now the Mutabolts themselves, they don't benefit as we don't have an overt creature that's like angels get +1/+1 unless just what does Lyra say? Oh no, they do get +1. All right, so your 1 Lyra does make it so your Mutabolts get +1/+1 in that way, so keep that in mind. But also they're just great with your Mr. Green. I really found somehow this was right away the best Mutable Explorer deck for me in my testing. Like what I was coming out with. I mean, I'm more motivated to play this deck. That's mostly because I haven't lost with it yet. But 16 land, you play enough games with this deck, you're going to lose some games. But anyway, so this is the base concept I have. I'm going to fan through just for our at-home audience. I'm going to fan through some of the images that we have here. So this was one where I got a really smooth Druna's pull, and I just kind of hit every step right. So what did I do? I did probably turn 1 pollinator, turn 2. I did Runa. Oh, maybe this one might have been more clunky actually. Now that I'm looking at it, there was one where I got really crazy pull. Oh, but then this one had the angel. Yeah. So this one was I waited till turn 2, cast the Bruna, then cast the pollinator, and then the angel. And then did I do changeling too this game? Looks like I did because I have Mutavaults. So yeah, so I guess I did changelings and then I did this is a changeling right here, I guess. Right here is a changeling.
Mhm.
And then I went to Mr. Green. So totally crazy board domination there. Here's another one. What was this win? Oh yeah, this is a fun one. Went really wide. So I went with on this one I got 2. So I cast the 2/1 angel first turn. Second turn I cast Runeth. Third turn I cast pollinator. No. First turn I cast. What did I do? Did I top deck a pollinator? I must have top deck a pollinator. So I let this guy grow. I let one grow and become a 3/3 when I cast the second Runeth. And then that gave me 2 explorers when I cast that, 2 Mr. Greens, and then I still had this guy. He was a smaller Drunith, and I cast 2 angels with him.
Nice.
So really, I won this game.
Yeah.
I pulled this up. So you're gonna go big, you're gonna go wide, it's gonna go fast. I think it's gonna go smooth. Let's see, what do we have? We have 12 white spells. As I analyze this, 12 white spells. 12 of our lands are inherently white. And then we count our pollinators for 2 more. We don't count for 4, we count for 2. That's David's math. So we count Bird of Paradise and so forth. 14 for 12 is fine. That's just the number. So the threshold for 12 of a card is 14. Love to have 15, but we don't. We have only 8 blue, have the same number. We have 14 blue sources for our 8 blue spells. But of course, we really want to have it for Drunith early. Probably going to have some blue in the sideboard anyways. Spidey sense or something like that. Remember, if you need to tap Giada, if you have Spidey sense in your hand, the in-web card, where you can return a tapped creature and you can counter something. Remember, you can just tap Gianna for mana if you need to tap a tapped creature, if that makes sense. You don't have to have a spell to cast, you just tap her. So if you need to create a tapped creature, you can tap her and then M-web. Okay, so that's the mana breakdown. Obviously, very similar in some ways to what we've been playing before. You're gonna, as a really, the vectors on it are really smooth because you're just running at your opponent, really. Not trying to do anything cute, really. And so, yeah, let me get what your guys' thoughts are as you want to bring them.
Yeah, looks like a major upgrade, right? I played that version 6 months ago, but we're missing cards, right? There was the Temple Garden we didn't have, and a bunch of these.
Oh, right.
We didn't have Druna. If we're talking about the same deck, right? The Angel deck, that's the first deck you showed me actually.
Right, so we tried this. We want to come back and revisit that premise. And again, you got to say, are we going to do this, or are we going to be like searching and saying, look, they have this new card. Let's make this work. Let's make the Bitter Blossom guy. Let's make him work. Where it's outside of our deck concepts. I don't start there. I try to round things out. I try to look around. Once I've done my initial, what I'm trying to do in the order of things. Because I want to explain to you guys the order of operations, why I'm doing things this way, so you understand it. And then if I'm trying to explain something in OMG about how we're running an agency or a certain conversion optimization thing that we're doing, right? and we discovered like an order of operations that we think makes a big difference, then I'm going to explain that to you. And then when we can, we're going to try to hit that order of operations. We're going to really try to be crisp with that. So in the same way, when new cards come out, I'm going to say, how do these new cards really apply to our current decks that we're really focusing on? Our main focus model is Isengard Shuffle framework. And so in that, we didn't have Temple Garden yet. We knew that was going to lead to a lot of stuff. Dan wants to test Gear Hulk and so forth. All right, go ahead, Theory. But you're making a great point. Yeah, and this is, you saw how that deck was just unplayable. You just felt like you're on a wobble from the mana right away.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Oh yeah, it totally was. I mean, not just that. I feel like it was missing a few things. What card we didn't have? We didn't have Druneth. Might be a big upgrade too. We didn't have the Cub, which is a massive upgrade, right? Pretty much. And
right. So things were yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were trying to play it, like trying to make some different stuff work. So now, and we've had these different revelations, right? We had Druneth come along with the Spider-Man set, and we figured that out. And then we stacked Cub. Mr. Green had come before that, and I guess we figured him out by then. And then now, what are we doing here? So we've got this Explorer, and a lot of what the chatter in the group about was like, well, like I showed that dinosaur deck, which is, guys, it's really promising. It's an interesting deck. It fits. It's like Dino Shuffle. It's very similar, but it uses the dinosaur elf guy. And it's really promising. It's just, this has the flyers. Flyers are really cool right now. Of course, it goes big really fast because you're just slamming down 6/6s right away. You turn 2, that's it. Maybe attacking the 7 damage on turn 2 or turn 3 or whatever with that guy. But with this, you can go big, and there's a different way of doing things and different for the metagame. Great. Let's see. Theory, please continue.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. Looks like this deck's a lot more powerful for sure. Even the Gene Pollinator, I think we didn't have it. And there was a lot of cards missing, actually, by the way. The Gene Pollinator.
We would have been more like diluted with that type of card, because one of the things we're able to do is hit a certain threshold by introducing these 7 shapeshifters, and this could be an 8th, of course. I just do think that having 1 Lyra is probably a good idea.
Sure.
You see how we're going to get so much more often this Giada or the Youthful Valkyrie or both are going to kind of tip for us. Does that make sense? Because we have so many more angels.
Right.
Because it's in a way, the way the deck works and the way that stuff like Druneth and Mockingbird work it's more is more, right? So the only cards that we have that are completely non-angel is Mr. Green and June, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Green or Royd or whatever his name is, and Junior. These 2 guys are out of the angel race, and then of course our Llanowar elves and our pollinators. Okay, but everything else is in the angel discussion. Now, Druneth / Jackal himself is not an angel, but he's 1, 2, 3 angels. Probably averages, 1.5 angels, maybe 2 angels. Really, it's probably about 2. It's again, David Mills likened Druneth to being a lot like Frenetic Efreet, where the real trick with Frenetic Efreet was the times that Frenetic Efreet survived a 2nd spell they cast at it, a 3rd spell they cast at it, and still finished the game. That famous match with him and John Finkel, where John Finkel burned out an entire serrated arrows, and they all failed to kill David's Frenetic Efreet, and then David's Frenetic Efreet killed Finkel all the way to death. David goes on to win it and become the #1 ranked player in the world by points. So the point is, the weak mind looks at it and says, oh, it's 1.5, and David follows the math all the way and says, nah, that's not true. Not really 1.5. It looks like 1.5, but it's a mirage, because your brain doesn't want to count those extra instances, because it feels like, well, it's a little bit obscure, but it's not that obscure, especially in this deck. And that's a lot of what we're seeing in these early screen captures I'm showing you guys. Here's another one I can pull up here. Just have a look at this one. don't know what this was about. Oh yeah, so just simple. Looks like I cast a turn 1 Inquisitor. Turn 2 I cast Junith. Turn 3 I cast another Inquisitor, and then a Badgermole Cub, and then he probably scooped. Probably didn't want any more of it. Next turn, what were we going to do? I was going to Changeling. I was going to kill his Pollinator and get another Changeling in play, a second Changeling for that. So if he casts another artifact or enchantment, I can kill that. And then the turn after that, I would cast at least 2 more creatures, casting the Mockingbird, right? So it was just, there's so much heat on him. Obviously, he didn't have an answer. Oh, and I know what his, I actually have a screen capture of what his removed from the game pile was. It's right here. Right, so we had a swamp that was going to come into play tapped, had another Badgermouth Cub frozen, and, you know, bit of triumph. Now you can still cast these, but it costs now 1 more mana to cast each of these spells, and now the swamp comes into play tapped. So that's where he's at, where he's not going to really squeeze out. Right, he has 3 other cards in his hand here, and it's just not sufficient. He scoots. Okay, and again, it wasn't overwhelming. I didn't have Mr. Green to finish things off. Didn't have any of my 2 cost angels. If either of the 2 cost angels could have been explosively large, right? We have a lot of other guys we could have cast. Instead of casting Cub, I would have loved to have a Valkyrie, right? Or Giada. That would have been incredible instead of a Cub there. Oftentimes those guys are going to be better.
Yep.
I think I have one more screen capture to show you guys. That was this one. That might have been. There was one more that I didn't scrutinize very much, and it was still juicy. So this one was juicy. You can see this is just one of those things where Giada really gets things out of control. Oh yeah, because there is no Mr. Green in this one, right? It looks like there's a Mr. Green. Oh, there is a Mr. Green again. Okay, never mind. But Giada can also make things, just so you know, in her own way. She can kind of give you a Mr. Green like ahead of time. She's like Ms. White, right? That's what we should call her.
Miss White. Nice.
Okay. Bryn, I think you probably have the most experience with the earliest incarnation of this. That was all the way back, probably even before Drunith, I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the way back this summer. And so you felt that thread with Angels, and it was like you'd have some exciting games.
Yep.
Right. But then you're probably lacking consistency.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Win some, lose some, I suppose, at that time. So I think this looks a lot more consistent. I'm looking forward to double casting the light stall with the Drunith. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a really sweet Drunith deck. Lawrence, shall we fire off a game? What are your thoughts on the deck?
Yeah, I'm excited to try it out. I was
Oh my
starting
gosh,
to fall in love.
Gary, Smitty's actually on, and so is Gary. I didn't realize we're almost burnt away half the show. Oh wow. Oh man, my life got just 10 times easier. I was just gonna pointlessly play games. So we have Smitty and we have Tokyo Gary's on. Man, make sure I know in advance that you're gonna be on. So let's get these guys on. I'm super glad that I noticed that. Tokyo Gary, how you doing, buddy?
I'm in the Philippines now, and I made contact with the national Philippines team that played at Worlds. So on Tuesday, I head to their shop to start playing with them to play test for the regionals.
Feel free to share what's in our stockade is the Filipino teams. It's at our disposal. That's great. Congratulations. That's great. How was your flight over?
The flight from Japan to the Philippines was pretty easy. Not as long as America to Japan. So, it puts me in a better time bracket now. Instead of getting on at 4 in the morning, now I get on at 3. So, but you know, the idea is to, yeah. One more hour. It makes a difference.
Stuff like that. Yeah. No, seriously, and when you're playtesting, it makes a big difference. Smitty,
But I
can you hear
definitely.
us?
Oh,
Let me just see if we can also get Smitty on. Please continue. So
uh,
what do you guys have on your mind?
well, right now I'm on the 4-color breakout deck that I've been like play testing with.
Yep.
That 4/5 flying ward enter the battlefield scry 2 is really powerful. Especially if you can control the top of the deck to like do another breakout to put another one.
Yeah.
And then talking with Dan about the explore trigger to where it's like, oh, we don't need the 4/5, put it in the graveyard, then we can reanimate it to cheat it out with helping hand. Even though helping hand puts it in tapped, it's still a 4/5 on turn 3 with ward 2, and just controlling the top of the deck with explore triggers and scry triggers. And then fear of missing out, also draw a card, discard a card. It's just really powerful. But going into the angel deck, because I haven't really been able to be on the show, but I do like now that we have Temple Garden, it makes a big factor with the 2/1 angel with vigilance, and then going into Drunith and then playing a possible other one. I mean, a Pollinator turn 1, turn 2 Drunith, tap Gene, the Pollinator and Drunith to play the Angel Wizard is just incredibly powerful. To
Yeah.
take not one but 2 cards out of their hands.
Yeah, let's have a
Yeah,
look.
I'm excited to play that for Tuesday. Because
Yeah,
Tuesday's
bring it over to
standard.
our boys in the Philippines. We're hoping
Yeah,
we're shooting them. We're cheering them on, and feel free to you can even add them to the group. You can I'm sure they're on WhatsApp. All right, so let's see what we got
yeah,
here. So what do you guys think? Do we do the elf first, right?
I usually do.
No,
I don't know if that's right or not, but
let's do the pollinator.
okay.
The reason I want to do pollinator is I'd rather copy the elf.
Oh, sure.
There's it can also lead to disaster. It can, but this time it got lucky. All right, here we go. We're off to the races. So let's go with this. All right, so we have a lot of mana. We just need to draw anything. Really hope to draw one of those 2 casting cost angels this turn. But we do need to draw something right now. Let it all by, right? Just have to not
Yeah.
lose the 2 elves. Oh, the worst.
Would Crater Hoof be good? I've been playing with it. I just love that card, actually. Crater Hoof, Smitty's card.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Different deck, but sure. Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be great. Okay. Well, we weirdly enough, this can we make a dude pretty big? Can that be helpful? Or should we make multiples of these? Nah, let's make multiple guys. That's probably better. And I kind of want one of these guys to kind of block maybe. We have plenty of elves. Let's do it this way. And then let's pass this one. And this one can make this guy into a land. Okay, well that puts us in a fine enough position. We're gonna just bash him with the Drunith. We have lots of 3s that we can draw now, which before we didn't really have any. What else should I attack with? The elf. I'm not gonna block really with them. Not gonna block with this guy. We will block with this guy. Or should we just bash him? Guys, maybe I race him.
I would.
I'd keep it back, but maybe.
Would say?
I'd keep it back, but maybe.
Can you kill us? Anyways,
What do you guys think?
I would smash, but you have a lot of blockers. But I mean, you
When
can't
in
keep
doubt,
back,
whip it
I think we'll
out.
win.
Bam, bam, bam. See what this guy's got. Does that guy double strike? Yeah, he double strikes, but we got a million guys that can block it.
Hmm.
Oh, we get the win. Oh. All right. Up to diamond 1.
Nice.
Smitty is driving and feeling happy about that. Great. Okay, so that was a straight framework win. Didn't draw any angels that game, so it was just the cards in the deck that we always play. But they're in there. But it goes to show we are rooting. But what is interesting is we are rooting for cards for the new cards, right? So the classic cards of the deck were the cards that won the game, right? But that's what happens when the framework starts filling itself out. Is now we're not entirely leading up, like, because with some of these other builds, you're like, well, I lost. I didn't draw Cub. I didn't draw Drunith, or I didn't draw, Elf, or But with this, I feel like I don't know. I mean, kind of want to draw everything, and that's what you want, right? Like I was hoping to draw an Explorer, right? That would have been great. Let's review.
Sure.
Like, is there anything in this deck that we didn't want to draw? I'd still be very happy to draw. Like, I definitely would have been super happy to draw this, and then we could have doubled either of these. That would have been completely broken, right? But even having all those Battle Roll Cubs down, I'm still fine with drawing one of these two guys, because now anything else I draw is really bad moves, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, and then, goes without saying this guy's great, goes without saying this guy's great. I'm still totally happy to draw Mutable Explorer there. Oh man, Chomping Changeling kills his haste enchantment that he really needs, right?
Mhm.
So pretty much happy with everything, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do one more. See where that takes us. Yeah. Whoever said, I think it was Theory, that it's better to bash. That's probably correct. When it's out, with it out. Especially with limited formats. But anyway. Once we play this game, let's get back to Gary and hang out with Gary and talk to him for a while. We haven't had Gary on in a while, and I miss him. Great having him on. Special this great group we have. What do we do? Great hand, right? Keep 7. Definitely keep it.
Sure.
So we're really hoping he plays an elf, right? Oh.
To copy it.
Yeah, we wanted to draw cast anything, but that's nice. It's nice that we have that. All right, so just play this for white, right? Tapped.
And more light, I think, on this one.
But this is really interesting. I mean, this really shows. I mean, I'm feeling the difference of these cards in the framework. Now, number one, I am terrified normally of this deck. I normally in our other Theory, do you have the same thought? Like, I normally when I'm playing a shuffle deck, whether Atlanta shuffle or whatever, I feel like I'm gonna lose to this deck.
I mean, I'm not sure if I've seen him. I play best of 3. The decks are a little bit.
Deck, with the new Angels deck, I feel like a lot more confident. I feel like, I can block flyers, because they kill you with flyers a lot, you bitch. Oh yeah, but we have the changeling we can draw now. That can take that thing out.
Destroy the enchantment, yeah.
Oh man, I hope we draw. Boy, I'm gonna really hate it if we draw that Lyra right now. Oh man, come on. Ooh, jeez. We're in deep, but we're gonna try to fight it out, guys. I don't just throw one of these down for no reason, right? Because I want to Trump block. That sounds pretty bad. I don't feel like we're that desperate yet. Remember, this guy tasked for mana. Really important. Did you guys see why I was reminding that she tasked for mana?
Say that again.
Oh, do you see why I remind you that she tasked for mana? Because it's so important. You see right now, she's gonna, we're gonna be able to cast 2 creatures because she tasked for mana.
Right. Oh, sure.
Sweet. Ooh.
Okay.
What's that?
I'm quite similar with this.
There's a song by you know what? Don't Attack. You guys know Don't Attack, right?
I'm not sure.
Definitely do not attack.
I wouldn't attack.
Do not
I
attack.
would attack. Just
Why?
I mean, you have the robe raw.
Do
Just
not
attack your
attack.
board.
This
Snowball.
guy has 4 instant flight enchantments, and he's waiting to pounce on Giada.
Oh, right, because he has the planes
Do
open.
not attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, do not attack. It would have been devastating. This guy's so screwed right now.
Hmm.
Oh, I made a mistake, guys. What was the mistake? Can you see it? What mistake did I make? Blatant mistake. What did I do?
Not
Not sure.
100% sure either.
Well, I made a mistake.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the mistake was what I should have done was tapped Giada and one of these guys to cast the first Valkyrie, and I should have copied. I should have Mockingbird that. Still have this in my hand so I could use Giada next turn. Do you see?
Mhm.
To cast the second one. Do you see?
I don't see
Possibly.
it currently. I'll watch the replay to kind of
So
poke it
if this
around.
was in play,
It starts going
Yeah.
fast.
yeah, it's fine. I just want to see you guys can
Hmm.
see the mistake. Okay, so let's go for, can we cast Drunith and anything? Drunith
Probably you
Mockingbird.
could do,
Yeah, let's just
yeah,
do that.
Drunith and Mockingbird, the Spellbook Vendor, if it's a 1-drop.
Oh, we can't cast Drunith and the Mockingbird.
I think it's a 2-drop.
Oh damn.
One or the
Mm.
other.
Oh, right. Blue-white.
I don't know if that's just for one. Probably this guy. Oh God, look at that. So nasty. And now all attack. He's tapped out. Can't do anything about it.
Oof.
Right? I don't attack with these guys, do I?
I wouldn't.
There's
Probably
no
not.
Keeping him back sounds nice, like he can't do anything about it without losing his creature.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
we
lot of
can,
lives.
we can really get blown out if he does something crazy.
Sure.
He could be shading up for something bad. Now we can cast that. But did you guys see the difference? I would have a whole another. Do you see what I did? How I made that mistake with casting the two? Anyways, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we could cast Mr. Green, but it's not even as good. Isn't this weird? Do you see how casting Mr. Green is literally not even as good, at least for the time being,
As a Drunith and an Angel.
right? As a Drunith and Angel.
Huh.
I could do Drunith, Angel, but maybe I just cast Mr. Green. I don't know. I think he's in trouble. Then again, Mr. Green gets bigger and bigger. All right, let's just cast Mr. Green. And just David and I didn't never really did recorded content while we played. We didn't do the streaming because we wanted people to learn. It wasn't so much about anyways. So we play the games, record them, play them, and then go back and record them. And anyways, we went again. And look, okay, so if he had, the biggest thing is if he'd had the enchantment that the first strike enchantment,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we didn't really have a super answer for it. Kind of get around it, sort of, but it kind of would have been pretty big. I think that could have kind of been a problem for us. Another, boy, do you see how Giada just gets out of control though? Isn't this a cool thing to see? Gets your gears turning, right?
Yeah. I mean, turn
Yeah.
the game around. We weren't sure, I think, to win.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have a game like this so you guys could see what these what these two casters can do for us. I think you missed that feeling because the last version that you really played, a lot of theory was with the Batman, and you had that other two casting costs, and you beat
Right.
people up with those
Sure.
bats all the time, and you flew over people with those bats all the time, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They became big too. They were getting boosted somehow. I don't remember. Add the 12-12 bat at one point. Right.
Yeah, so I think this one's going to be. I think this is. Oh, we have one more attendee. Gary got kicked off and back on, so let's bring Gary back on. All right, let's spend some time with Gary. Gary, man, what did you think? Gary's going to be getting his mic back.
I know this is a lot better than the first version because it wasn't just a mana issue. with them.
Airbnbs are,
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
the Airbnbs are nice, but the internet connection's still pretty hard here in the Philippines.
We get it, man. Well, we wanted to visit with you. Do you have any thoughts on the new deck now that you've seen some more games?
Um, yeah, no, I'm definitely I definitely saw what you were talking about with the Mockingbird to copy the Angel.
Right.
Um, you know, Valkyrie's so powerful as a 2 drop, and then like I didn't even realize that they had an alternate art until I saw the copy of the token, and I was like, oh wait a minute, yeah, it got reprinted.
I've got
So
some good ones. I've got some good ones. There are some hidden layer drops. I've got some good ones. If Smitty winds up wanting to play this, which I think Smitty, this is a Smitty type of thing to do, then I can send over the version that has the angels. But to me, we had some other stuff really promising and testing. The dinosaurs, like I said yesterday, was promising. The bitter blossom was promising. But man, this is like, whew, you get big, fast, and flying. It's like, whoa. And
yeah,
I'm looking
I
forward to
mean
playing it.
that was the thing that hurt the original, like when we had it as the Merfolk deck in the very beginning, like we didn't have any flyers, so it's like we would just get flown over, and then our opponents would beat
Yeah,
us by
maybe you'd
flyers.
have a mockingbird to try to defend yourself, but that was about it. With this, we're flipping the
Yeah,
script on that. Not only are we able to deal with some of those flyers, but we're able to like control the skies. Let me
right.
get from Lawrence as well. Lawrence, what are your thoughts on the new deck and what you got going on? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm excited to try it as well. I was starting to fall in love with the counters and the Merfolk, the Tidebinder especially. So I'm interested to see how this one plays out.
'Cause I felt the same thing. I didn't want that to slip through my fingers because I love that disruption. But
Mhm.
but I will tell you this: it's a lot of fun. You go big.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, this was fun. I like Thierry, and you said I didn't think you were gonna stick it out, but yeah, the second one seemed a bit touch and go at the start, but yeah, it scales so fast. Impressive.
It's
Yeah,
snowball.
Yeah.
yeah. Snowball's fast. That's great. Scales fast. All right, great. Let's spend the. I just definitely wanted to make sure with not even having Smitty on today. You guys feel the difference, though, right? It's nice to know he's listening to us. Think about Smitty. But we appreciate you, Smitty. Drive safe. So Gary, let's turn over the last 5 minutes to you. What are your thoughts? How's your trip been? Talk to us about Tokyo and what you learned, and your next moves. What's going on?
So yeah, the Tokyo scene's changed a lot with Magic. Some stores have actually gone away from Magic because now there's so many more TCG games. So like Hobby Station doesn't really do Magic anymore.
You mean Yellow
The dr-
Submarine?
like I did hit up Yellow Submarine, and they're more of like you know they don't need it, but they have it. It's like there's so many games now. One Piece, the Gundam game. There's just now,
I
like
love
it
that. That's
used to be
great.
just like 2 or 3 TCG games. Now it's like 7. So it's like Magic now is in a harder spot in Japan compared to where it is in America. Um,
Interesting. So you think
so
it's actually more popular in America? Uh, it usually cycles in Japan. We'll see what happens, but it sounds to me like there's a
yeah,
lot of people
so
gaming there.
yeah, so again, the Spotlight series, which is like the Grand Prix style, we just got it back like not even a year ago. So it's like when COVID hit and they got rid of competitive play for a while, and then it really turned down the fire in
Yeah,
Japan
yeah.
because
I
Japan
think
used to be
once
so.
they start to turn people back out, I mean, like I said, I want to get back out to Japan sooner rather than later because I'm sure when they get the spotlight, and especially if they handle it well, the Japanese can really, really turn out.
Yeah, so May is the Spotlight for Japan.
Where's
I
it?
want to
Is it
say
Tokyo?
it's Chiba. So it's gonna be
Cuba's
out
clear.
out east.
Yeah, great.
So but the cool thing is I talked to my friends in Indonesia, and then there's a company called Animart, and they're in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, and they do a mini tournament that gets them into a national tournament, and then the top 8 for the national tournament gets flights and hotel stays for the Spotlight Series for Australia.
Oh, cool.
So that's something that I'm looking into now because my friend Henry, he runs a shop in Indonesia and he's letting me know when the date is. So I told him, I was like, well, let me know if it's around this time in a month. I might try and make like a 4-day weekend in Indonesia, go out there, go play in your tournament. And if I win that, then go to the national one that's
Right.
in the thing.
I love it.
So
Great. That's great how you're networking and moving around. And I think that you'll be able to bring fire. I was going to say with the Filipino team,
no, I know.
if
I'm excited for Tuesday. I got to meet them. Like how that even happened was just going to Eternal Weekend and running into the couple that runs the store, and then they knew Ian that I met 10 years ago playing Legacy in GP Manila and top eating that Legacy event with Blue Red Delver. So it was just funny that they're like, "Oh, we know Ian." I was like, "Wait, you know
oh,
Ian? Let me take a
oh,
let's take a photo," and it was so
oh,
great. So it's so awesome again.
such a great networker, Gary. It matters so much, and these things grow over time. You know, it's you got to remember, even God doesn't know what's going to happen next. And so,
Yeah,
and that's
so
because we haven't figured it out yet. You gotta make something out of what's out there.
and then I
Great.
I found out here's the biggest thing too. You ready for this? So I found out in the Philippines that they can't download Arena through Google Play Store in their region. So I was talking to my extended family here,
Right.
and
Can
I
you
wish
tell
I
me
would
how
have
it comes
took a
with VPN?
screenshot.
Can you show them
Yes, so they can't. They can't. Yeah, so it's like I was trying to show my extended family here in the Philippines because my wife's from the Philippines. So I'm here in Iloilo for their festival Dinagog. So I got to see my extended family here in the Philippines for these next five days, and then when I get back, then I play test with the Philippines team.
That's gonna be great. All right. Well,
So it's like a family trip. It's a family trip too. So I got to see my nephew and a few other people, and then they're excited to see me. And it was a surprise. Only one person knew I was coming into town. So when I showed up, they like all did a head check. They're like, "What?" And
it's a
unfortunately, my
great
wife had to
moment.
work.
It's a great moment. Everybody must have enjoyed it. That's terrific.
Yeah,
That's great. Well, you've had such a great family experience with getting to see your daughter, in Japan, and now with your family in the Philippines. So what you can do is when you meet with the team on Tuesday, which is right before our next webinar, if if one or more of the team members want to join our WhatsApp group, you can feel free to put them in there, and then
will
we can
do.
be sharing screen caps and helping them with that. Yeah, it sucks that they don't have. Are they able to access Arena through a VPN or not really?
I'm sure they can through a VPN. Like I said, I think
You might want
like
to point that out to them.
for-
Just give them a
yeah.
little.
So I think they can access it through computer. They just don't have access through it through the mobile. So they
Yeah, but
can,
it's really nice to have it on your phone. I mean,
I know
I was
just having it on your
if,
phone is a
if you
huge
just get
thing. I
there
mean,
flying in Jersey Mike's and just flying over people.
yeah.
I was just imagining Bryn's eyes light up with it. I had like I don't know how big the angel was, but it was really big. And I was like, oh yeah, man, he's gonna like this one.
But yeah,
Okay.
after the podcast, I'll hit the group chat because I want to get the list for the deck and I'll start building this out and see what I'm missing. But on paper though, I have just about everything on paper, which is great. So
Yeah.
Tuesdays they're standard, and then Saturday I'll be able to branch out for more players because there's gonna have a 20K. So it's like a $500 tournament, but it's modern. But I'm gonna go to it anyways, just so I can network. So so Tuesdays is their standard showdown. So I'm gonna go play on Tuesday with the team, and then Saturday is gonna be modern, and then I'll be able to network more.
Great.
So I'm super happy.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we'll wind up talking to the store owner. They're being so accommodating to you, and they're both of these stores are doing so much with what they're doing. Smitty and I were always we were always about helping stores work together and trading with them and working things out. So we'll look to make things happen. Great. Great.
Yeah, I'm excited because they just rebranded. So it's like rebranding and putting a new face out there is something that we could definitely help them out with for sure.
I hadn't thought about it, but they probably need a new website, so we can talk about that more as well. Okay, great show for today, everybody. Not the same without Smitty. So come back soon, Smitty. We miss you. We really hope to have Smitty back next week. Terrific to have Tokyo Gary. So thankful that I realized that he was on halfway through the show. I wish it had been from the very beginning, but it was super duper. Theory came in big time with a lot of really great insight from his previous testing and helping us blend in with this new testing. Thanks so much to Lawrence and Bryn as well. Lawrence went over, or Bryn went over some Northwind last game. Did what I share with you help make a heck of a lot more sense out of the game?
Yeah, for sure. I think and I looked over today again because you sent screenshots and videos, and I was like, well, what's the difference? And I think one is a way tighter deck. So I had decks with like 20 or 30 cards, and you seem to not have that.
I knew right away. Like I saw it. Like this. Do you see how the second I saw your screen capture, I was like, no.
Yeah.
We need it. We need a total reprint. You done some good stuff. Interestingly enough, I did use that card that you really like.
Yeah,
to give the 3 injuries. I actually used it in that terrific deck I sent you. And
which is 1 of, not 4 of, not 5 of, 1 of. Yeah.
Right, because you see how I was pretty much drawing my whole deck all at once, and it was just a slaughter show.
Yeah.
All right, great. That must have been lightning. Great, that was great. I'm really glad we went through that. Bryn, if you hadn't gone through that, and guys, Bryn has been really inspiring me. He's been really organized and had all of his folders and really organized with how he's doing. We have a lot to come, guys. Guys, a lot to come. So being ready to be organized. It's gonna be a very empowering era. So you want to be organized because it's gonna make more of that awesomeness available to you. We want it to be available to you. Great show. Not the same without Smitty, but a great show all the same. And so much of it is because we're looking forward to getting Smitty back next week. And we'll continue on looking forward to hearing how the Philippine team likes our Angel Shuffle. I don't know what we'll call it. What do you call it? Heaven Shuffle, Heavenly Shuffle. It's kind of a little bit of a lame name. Maybe we'll come up with something better. If 3-color fish had worked out, it could have been goldfish, but it was a little.
Oh man.
It was looking a little rough at the beginning. We'll work on it. We'll maybe get there eventually. But this one's really good. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I remember being excited when I first started realizing some of the core synergies there, and I was sharing it with Bryn. But it wasn't quite there. And every single time we get a successive thing with Drunith / Shackle, and then with Cub, I was hoping it would kind of get there, but it's still not there. But now with the Temple Garden, we've finally gotten over that peak. We've also seen Theory and John have been jumping on a lot, so I think that's been really cool. I've been appreciating their videos on that as well. John being somebody who's very new to this game, and there'll be a lot more to come. Speaking of SEO, because you've been seeing the possibility of what's out there with SEO. A lot more to come with OMG 2026, guys. It's extremely exciting out there. Any given time, I'll be contacting you guys and letting you know about big updates. Okay, great show. Really proud of us. Proud of what Smitty helped us build leading up to now. Excited to have Smitty back next week, and glad for this show. When we had to go in with Band-Aids and patch something up like duct tape, but it's not the same without Smitty on. But it's just a great show we've all built together, and looking forward to the next one. See you on the next show.
See you on the next one. Bye.
Take it easy, guys.
City on the hill. Friends come together in Providence.